Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider, 5 Points is changing in a big way for pedestrians. Also ahead, USC announces a new plan for campus renovations.
Then you get this just tremendous amount of energy.
But first, are you ready to vote? If you haven't registered yet, we'll tell you how to meet your deadlines, and they're coming up quick. Carolina Insider starts now. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Adkisson. Our top story today, time is running out to register for November's election. The deadline to register is midnight this coming Monday. Early voting starts the 21st and ends November 1st. Anyone registered in Richland County can go to USC Blatt PE Center to vote. And of course, Election Day is on Tuesday, November 5th. Classes are canceled that day if you need to travel to vote. To check your registration status, you can visit uofsc.turbovote.org. Big changes are on the way for the University of South Carolina. The Board of Trustees has now officially approved Phase 1 of USC's new master plan called USC Next. The plan includes renovations to Russell House and the McKissick Museum and Visitor Center on the Horseshoe. Other major projects include updating Thomas Cooper Library, replacing the McBride Residence Hall, and adding a third wing to the Honors Residence. USC officials say they're excited about working with Sasaki Associates, who are taking the lead on the project.
So they have a lot of collective wisdom and knowledge of the campus, and when they combine that with the knowledge that a lot of us staff have and what the leadership wants to do, then you get this just tremendous amount of energy.
The university hopes to improve the student life experience and make the core campus more accessible. The master plan is expected to be complete within the next 10 years. USC isn't the only area of Columbia getting a makeover. So is 5 Points. Carolina Insider's Delaney Flanagan surveyed the scene.
Biking and walking aren't the easiest modes of transportation in Columbia, but they're especially hard in 5 Points.
5 Points has always been a problem area, lots of traffic, lots of pedestrians, people don't cross at the intersections.
And within 5 Points, Hardin Street has the worst reputation.
This one stretch of road is one of the most dangerous in South Carolina, seeing over 200 accidents from 2013 to 2018, according to the Department of Transportation.
Of those 232 accidents, 14 involved pedestrians and 3 involved cyclists. And while none of them have been fatal, the Department of Transportation came up with a solution.
We went out on a Thursday night and we kind of observed, how the pedestrians were utilizing the area.
After lots of planning, they broke ground in April for the Hardin, Blossom, and Divine Safety Project. Road diets are being built to stop jaywalking, and as you can see in renderings, there will be mid-block crossings and audible road crossing signals for pedestrians. The DOT will widen sidewalks and create bike lanes. However, the most drastic change is the lane shifts. The highlighted portion of Hardin Street will shift from 4 lanes to 2, and the highlighted portion of Divine Street will shift from 4 lanes to 3 lanes. The project has seen a positive response from local businesses.
Although it is causing some traffic backups and it's not pretty right now, we know that it's going to be of benefit to everyone in the long run.
And a big part of that response is communication.
They were all involved in this project from day one, so that was always the key.
SCDOT's goal is to finish construction by the annual St. Pat's and 5 Points Festival. For Carolina Insider, I'm Delaney Flanagan.
Across town, a business on Main Street faces a different kind of challenge, and they're looking to the community for some help. Here now on the Soda City scene is Carolina Insider's Cara Setzer. Cara?
That's right, Stephanie. I'm here in front of the Queer Haven bookstore on Main Street, which just opened its doors this past April. As the only queer-owned bookstore in South Carolina, Queer Haven provides a safe space for members of the LGBTQ community. Queer Haven hosts weekly events like book clubs, book signings, and writing workshops, which are funded by donations. In its short time being open, the store has already begun to face financial challenges. Owners Baker Rogers and Madeline Williams have relied on donations from over 500 donors since they kick-started their business. They were able to look for a lease after a $25,000 donation from the family of supporter Tiffany Bennett, who passed away before she could see the bookstore open. As the only business of its kind in South Carolina, Queer Haven lacks a large support base. This has caused a recent decline in donations. If this continues, Queer Haven could face closure. Donations can be made at the store's website, where supporters have the chance to have a plaque made in their name. Back to you, Stephanie.
Thanks, Cara. If you're walking by the Arcade Mall on Main, keep an eye out for some SC Pride events coming to Columbia. Starting next Thursday, the Koger Center has a free showcase with local queer artists from 5:30 to 7 p.m. The shows will run until November 18th. PET's 1109 is hosting an 18-plus kickoff party that night, too. Doors open at 9 next Friday. The Get Lit Night Parade starts at 6 p.m. and on Saturday. The famously hot South Carolina Pride Festival takes place on Main Street. Later, the Senate is hosting the Aftermath at 9:30 p.m. Tickets are $20 in advance and the doors open at 9. You can find plenty more Pride festivities at scpride.org. That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the University of South Carolina. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here next week.